Hi everybody, this is Harmony with Harmony Stitches and welcome to my channel. Here we talk about my crafting journey, which usually revolves around cross stitch with some knitting and crochet thrown in. Lately it's been knitting because summer sock camp is underway. Before we get started and talk about my crafting this week, I want to thank everyone for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch my video. Last week's video for some reason had an amazing amount of views, and I don't know why, but I'm so thankful that so many of you took time out to watch. It was my first update on summer sock camp, and I appreciate everyone stopping by to see what I was knitting for that. So thank you so much. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and click for the notification so that way next time you will be able to see all of my videos. Thank you to everyone who subscribes. That just means the world to me. It just means that you're dedicating some space in your YouTube channel or your profile to come back and watch me each week. So thank you so much for that too. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. This is week 3 of summer sock camp. I had the one cabled sock pair that is done and complete, and then I started working on sock pair number 2. I said my goal was to get these done in a week so that way I could start knitting on a hat, and guess what? I got them done. So this is Hermione's everyday sock. This is using, oh excuse me, I just had some lemonade. Oh, I lost the, oh no, here's the tag. I thought I lost the ball band, but it's by Supernova Dyeworks. They're out of Lansing, Michigan. This is the Desmos sock base, which is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. And this is the Laurel colorway. So I did get both done. As far as I know, there's only one slight mistake, and that was on the first sock. I mixed on the gusset decreases. I mixed up the, on one side of the sock you do SSKs, and on the other side you do knit 2 togethers, and I just mixed it up one time. Besides that, I don't think that I have any mistakes in these socks. So these are going to be entered into the county fair. So I'm super excited about that. I've never entered anything into the county fair before, so I'm really excited. And this is how much yarn I have left. Slightly less than on the skein of ridiculous yarn, but I am excited for leftovers because then that means my money stretches further and I get to work on more things. I just dropped another ball. So I actually finished those socks on Thursday afternoon after work. I came home and right before dinner, I was like knitting feverishly right before dinner and to get the toe done. And then after dinner, I was able to Kitchener up that toe and weave in the ends, and they are done. So then I got to cast on the hat. Oh, I'm dropping everything today. So let me get the pattern out and show you. If I pronounce this right, it's called the Chiltern hat. And it is a pattern on Ravelry that you can purchase, and it's by Theresa Shingler. So I am doing the white and blue version, but with dark teal and gray. And it's these little balls or little cakes of yarn by Good For You. And it's Abyss and Lagoon, I believe, are the 2 colorways. And it's 45% merino wool, 40% baby llama, and 15% Donegal, Donegal. It's really soft to work with. Each ball has approximately 164 yards. It's 50 grams, and it's plenty enough to do this hat. So let me show you. Like I said, I started this on Thursday evening. I cast on the brim, and this is how far I've gotten. So it's a nice wide 3-inch brim, and then the hat has a pattern to it, and I hope that you can see it. I was really concerned that the colors were not going to provide enough contrast because they were both on the darker side. But I actually like the way that it's turning out. Now, what I don't like necessarily is, if you can tell on the ball of this gray, is that this is a tweed. And the little tweed bits play with your eye a little bit, and sometimes it's hard to see the pattern, but I really do like how it's turning out. Now, if you are a knitter, you might say, Harmony, that hat is a little small. Yes, it is. I necessarily didn't make a mistake, but what I did was, instead of casting on the adult large like I wanted to, I cast on the child size. So, I did not do a gauge swatch, so it might be a little large, or it might be small. So we'll see. If it is a child size, then I will just put it in the child class, the child accessory class for the state fair. Because, cross my fingers and pray I'm doing a good job, I don't think that I've made a mistake yet. So if I can get through and I don't make a mistake, then I will enter it in for the child size, if it does in fact turn out to be a child size. Now, if my gauge allowed it to be even an adult small, then I will go ahead and enter it into the adult size one. So we will see when it gets done. I have, it's a slip stitch pattern, so I have 10 more sets of, so about 20 rows until the crown decreases. And it's very interesting, and I cannot wait to see what it looks like blocked. And like I said, this yarn is very nice and easy to work with. It's not splitty at all, and the tweed bits do not get in your way. And I do want to mention too that the Desmos sock base by Supernova Dyeworks, it actually was really nice to knit up too. So if you have a chance to pick up any of her yarn, I would highly suggest it. Like I said in my last video, I do believe that she changed names, and I forgot to look that up to see. I thought it had something to do with lemonade, but I may be wrong. So I will continue to try to, I will try to keep that in mind to look up next time, or to put in the description box below. I just didn't remember this week because I was knitting so much. I really have a goal to get that done this week, so that way I can get back to socks. I forgot to bring the yarn to show you the next pair of socks. It is a dark green. It's by lolodidit. It's from the Quotable Dumbledore Club. I was going to make a pair of socks last year called Tantamount by Hunter Hammerson, but I think it might be a little bit beyond me still, so I am going to use that green for a sock here on Ravelry called, oh gosh, I can't remember. It's another one in the Harry Potter line in the series. I can't remember. But anyway, that is all I've done this week. I was, like I said, I was knitting feverishly. It was all I did. Every second that I could get, in the car, at home, at work, I was knitting. I wish that I could knit in between phone calls at work, because then I would really get some stuff done. But I don't know if that's too appropriate. So anywho, this week I actually do have some purchases. I went to the cross stitch store yesterday, and usually I can behave myself, but this week I was digging through some of the bins of newer charts, but also within the last several years. And I found a couple of things that I really didn't want to leave behind. One of them is a little cat pattern that I got for my daughter because, I don't know, last fall she bought herself a little cat pattern. It was a kit with 36 count linen, overdyed floss, matching pom-pom trim, and it's kitted up to make a small pillow. And so she's working on that one, and she's almost done. And then as I was going through the bin, I found this one, and it looks to be a companion piece. So it's a little outline, it's an outline of a cat. The cat's in a different position than the first one, but it comes with the floss, the trim, and the fabric. My daughter can't stitch on 36 count. She stitches on 14 count Ada, but I will keep the linen for something else, because of course with 36 count, you can put so many like little ornaments on there, it's perfect size for an ornament. So I did get that. She took it already. It's in her stash. So unfortunately, I won't be able to show you that. I don't even know who the designer is. I just recognized it and I'm like, oh, she'll like that. So then I saw this. I'm going to take these out of the bag so that way they're easier for you to see. I know it kind of glares a little bit on the camera. So I saw this one and it's kind of out there a little bit in what we like for Patriotic, but when I sent the picture to both my husband and daughter, they both said, oh my gosh. So I had to get this. And this is Lady Liberty by Keslyn's. And I just thought that that was really cool and I like the style and I picked it up. The designer, Keslyn, yes. She used Gloriana silks in the color Crimson and Pacific Dark Blue. My local shop doesn't really carry Glorianas, but also I've never stitched with that, and silk is kind of out of my price range. But what I did do is I splurged on classic Colorworks, and Gloriana's is a 20-yard skein. So I picked up 4 skeins of each of these, and you guys know that I really try to stick to budget, but I had a little extra cash, so I got ribbon red 4 skeins, which equals 20 yards. And for the blue, I got blacksmith blue. There's not a ton of variation in this blue, but my daughter loves it. She loves the combination of the two, and we think that it's going to be really great. Now, this one, it does look more like a faded ratty flag. You know, the flag is worn and been out in the weather for a while, but I do believe that the variation that I do have in both of these colors are going to give this a really cool effect. The designer also stitched it on 25 count white Lugana using 1 strand of floss over 1 thread, so 1 over 1. I don't have 25 count Lugana, but what I do have is 25 count or 28 count white Monaco. So I will be stitching it on 28 count 1 over 1, and I do believe that even though 1 over 1 on 28 count is good coverage, I think a little bit of the effect here is of the white fabric showing through, and I'm hoping to get a little bit of that on this piece, on this project. So we will see, and that is that one. I'm super excited about that one. The next one I found is from Amy Brucken Designs, and it's called Chubby Little Winged Friend. And it's this little bee. And usually this wouldn't be my style, but I'm decorating with bee cross stitches and bee things in my kitchen. And I just started last year, and I have 2 cross stitch pieces put up already, and I have several in the works. And I just thought that this was kind of cool. And I have several Rae Dunn mugs that are bee themed. One is yellow and a couple are cream, and they say Busy Bee on them. But I thought this would be really neat to stitch up and then kind of have it sticking out of the cup. And then along with that, I found this pack, and it comes with the fabric already, you know, stitched up in the shape of the bee. And then it comes with a piece of tulle for the wings. So I thought that was really neat, because then I don't really have to think much about it. I just have to start stitching. So that's really cool. And it's a big blocks. So I could say, okay, today I want to do that stripe. And then the next day I do the next stripe. And if I just work on one stripe at a time, in just a few days, I could have this done. So I don't know when I'll start this, but I am excited to get this going as well. I'm running out of space here on my table. Okay, and then the last thing I got, as I was browsing through these boxes of patterns, I took a picture. I found this and I took a picture and sent it. And my husband says, that's neat. And my daughter says, that looks like it would match the whale. And I'm thinking, what whale, what whale? And then Colette, the shop owner, is like, well, what is she talking about? And so we were discussing, and we thought maybe she was talking about the little stitch girl, little stitch shop. Can't remember. But she has a Moby Dick pattern. And I thought maybe she's talking about Moby Dick. Well, when I got home and I asked her, she was talking about this. And I'll put in a picture. It's Stars and Stripes by the Prairie Schooler. And then I thought, you know what? I think she's right. I think it will be lovely paired up with the Stars and Stripes by the Prairie Schooler. And it is this. Liberty Eagle by Blackbird Designs. And I actually don't own any Blackbird Designs. I do have a freebie chart by them that I stitched for my daughter, and it was La Souvenir de France. And it was just a little freebie that you can find on their website. And I stitched that up and gave it and framed it and gave it to her, and she has it in her room. And so this is actually my first real pattern, my first paid for pattern by Blackbird. And so I'm excited about this one too. And I was like, wow, out of the 4 things that you got this weekend, 2 of them are patriotic. So then when I got home and I started thinking about it, I'm like, well, July is coming up, and July is typically a patriotic month with 4th of July and fireworks and barbecues and all of those things that we as Americans celebrate the holiday. So I was thinking that for 4th of July, I'm going to do a patriotic July, and I'm going to stitch only patriotic things. So one week I'm going to stitch the Liberty Eagle. Another week I'm going to stitch the Lady Liberty from Keslyn's. And then I'm going to stitch on Lady of the Flag, and then the Stars and Stripes by Prairie Schooler. And then and there's 4 full weeks in July, and then 3 separate days. So any other thing that I have in my stash that is patriotic, I do have Memorial Day by Hands On Design that I could stitch on that for a little while. And I actually forgot to show you guys that. I started that on Memorial Day, and then I didn't do a video, or I started it after my video that day, because I waited a day, filmed on Memorial Day, and uploaded it. And I said, I'm going to start this evening. And then I didn't do a video for 2 weeks, and I forgot. I got 2 strands in. That was it. It was so hot downstairs. Our air conditioner had died. I just couldn't. I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just can't even stitch. It was so hot, I couldn't even think. So I only have 2 stitches in that. So it would be really nice to put some stitches in there to get a little bit more work started, so you can actually see some kind of progress. You can see that it's something or other. So I do have quite a few patriotic stitches, and I think what I'm going to do for July is to work on those. And I think it will be really fun. And I actually have, I thought it was right here, I have a scarf that is a flag. So that will be my knitting for the month as well. And so my plan is to try to get as much sock knitting done between now and July 1st as I can, so that way I can skip a month and see what happens. Now, if I happened to get the flag scarf completed, then I'll go back to socks in my knitting time. So we'll see what happens. And then after church, we went grocery shopping, we came home, and then we were like, oh no, we need to go to the dollar store to get something or other. And so my husband says, you want to ride along? And I said, yeah, sure. It's just down the road, about a half a mile. So we go, and what I was hunting for was thank you cards for my daughter's graduation party. I was going to order some, but then we were thinking, you know, most people are going to read the thank you card and throw them away. My coworker says, don't be silly. Look at all the money you could be saving. Go to the dollar store. So we went to the dollar store to find thank you cards. And as I was walking through an aisle, I found this. I spied this. And it is 100% cotton yarn. And they had a couple different colorways, but they had red, black, yellow, cream, and then this one. And they had more space too, so I'm assuming that they probably had more colors, but they were all out. I had never seen this at our Dollar General before. Let's see, it's 56.6 grams, 2 ounces, and it's approximately 102 yards. It's a weight number 4. And so I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get this and make some dishcloths, not in July, probably not in August, but maybe in September. I will be making dishcloths because I think what I want to do for my new coworkers is make dishcloths as many as I can and have them pick out sets. So I think I'll make sets and then set them out for them for Christmas, and then they can just pick whatever set that they want. So I did grab 3 of these, so this should make at least 4. So if I can get 4 out of it, then that would be a great set, and then the scraps I will just use. So I'm going to test this out, and if it's decent, then I will go back and see. But this was only $2 for this ball of cotton. And I don't know if any of you stitch your own dishcloths, but 100% cotton for dishcloths and towels and things has really gone up quite a bit. So I wanted to give this a try. And I don't know if it's going to be good, and it could actually be bad. It could not, it could be splitty, it could be gross. The colors might bleed when I wash it. I don't know, but I figured I will go ahead and give this a try, considering it was quite a bit lower in cost than some of the other cottons out there. Because I know one of the fan favorites, Lily's Sugars and Cream, has gone up quite a bit, and it's almost unaffordable for dishcloths, especially if you want to produce them and sell them, you know, as a side hustle. It's kind of unaffordable. So that is all that I have to share right now. I look forward to getting this hat finished, and I'm hoping that maybe by Tuesday I'll have it finished at the latest. I am looking forward to stitching that pair of socks, and I wish I could remember the name of it, but I'm filming on my phone, so I can't look it up. But it's a plant. I think it's a plant, the name of a plant that starts with an S from Harry Potter. So some of you are probably screaming at the screen saying, Harmony, it is this. But I can't remember. But anyways, it seems like it has a really simple lace pattern down the front of the sock. You can put it just on the leg or all the way down. And so she gives instructions for that. And then Patriotic Stitching. And I do have plans for one more pair of socks. Not quite sure all the colors. I think I need another base. I think I need a black. So it's these 2. Remember these 2 I showed you before, and I said this one's like really purple, and then this was kind of blue purple. I found a blue. And I thought that would be really cool to make the Rainbow Connection socks by the Crazy Sock Lady and use these. And then I could use this one as a light one, or some, you know, heels, toes, maybe, I don't know. But I could use these 3 colors and do Rainbow Connection, but then I would need the base, the main color, either a black or a white. I really don't want to make socks out of white though. White and I don't mix. So I'm thinking maybe black, but I need to find some. Oh, and that reminds me, the last weekend of July, here in mid-Michigan, there is a yarn crawl. Now, I've never participated in yarn crawl. I will tell you really quickly what I know here, and then I will link over to the little yarn shop at the SVRC Marketplace, where she has a little bit more info. So it's the last weekend of July. Excuse me. You pay $8 for a passport. You can buy your passport in advance. And then there's several shops, maybe 10, 15 shops that are participating, and you go to each one. I would assume that the shops have some kind of discount for you during the yarn crawl, or they have something on sale or some kind of promotion going on. But I don't know for sure. But I know that the passports are $8, and there's several shops that are participating. So if you are in mid-Michigan or would like to drive toward mid-Michigan, or click the link for the little yarn shop and see if a shop near you is participating, let's get together. Let's get together and go. And I may not get to all of the shops, but if there's a shop near you and you're going to be at that shop, maybe we can make a plan, you know, like I can go to these shops and then meet you over at this shop. And, you know, so let's make a plan If you're interested, click the link below, check out the shops participating, buy your passport, and I will see you there. I'm going to tell my family for my birthday, which is the last weekend of July, that I'm going to need as much cash as you can give me because I need things. So I'm thinking I will have to keep a lookout for a black that will go with this lolodidit so I can do these rainbow connection socks. So you want to go shopping with me? Comment below or send me an email. I'll have my email in the description box below. Let's make a plan right now. It's a month and a half in advance. Let's do this, okay? Besides that, that is all that I have to share. I'm going to get going so I can start the last section on this hat so I can get this done. And I will see you back here next Sunday with whatever progress I do get done. Okay? Until then, bye.